in the room here would be a little awkward with husbands and, you know, wives and kids and all that. Without HBS would not be HBS. Where there's Marty, there is Bob. They perform totally different roles. And Bob Shroder has become a San Diegan almost by default. His dad, in fact, I met when his father was the FBI special agent in charge of the San Diego office in the early 1970s, so that when I met Bob Shroder, I said, interesting spelling. Is your dad in the FBI? Of course, his dad was also gigantic. What a clue. But Bob didn't really move to San Diego until he graduated from the University of Wisconsin at Madison with his degree in production and editing. So like all smart guys, he came here with no job. Since all things eventually do pass through Sue Strom's hands, a friend of Bob's sister, this one here, Susan, mentioned recommended Bob to Sue as an intern at what was then KCST. Bob even was so desperate for this job that he went back to the fabulous City College, which is in fact a fabulous school, to be able to prove that he could sit on an assignment desk in the newsroom, which he will be the first to admit to you he did not do very well. Although he was very funny while he was trying to do it. As he tells it, he, quote, got resigned from that job early in 1981 and spent the next 2 years, no doubt, being the tallest and loudest person at a local coffee house. At the same time, he was looking for work and helping Marty out on a freelance shoot because the two of them had become friends while they were both at KCST. By 1984, the friendship had turned into a partnership because it turned out that Bob was a pretty good editor and he also, cleverly, could run an office while Marty was out back taking some piece of equipment apart again. Over the years, Bob's work has taken Marty's work and the work of dozens of freelancers who have worked for HBS and turned it into some great video and sound. He's also grown into a dependable and creative producer and an editor in his own right for dozens of clients. In fact, he has taken that end of HBS Productions and made it his contribution to their success. He was, in fact, the producer and editor on the recent San Diego Above and Beyond program that aired for the first time just a few weeks ago. Bob's favorite projects, though, tend to be about the outdoors. One of his top 10 was being a producer-editor on the series Afoot and Afield with Jerry Shadd. Bob does remember that he did try to kill a crew out in the desert because he didn't bring enough water. He ended up hiring people who did nothing but haul water around for that thirsty crew. We call that craft services these days, Bob. He only knows that too well by now. Bob says the best time he ever had was going to the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona with Marty, working for Dennis Morgino, because he was working for AT&T. What a great gig. It was the perfect combo. Bob's skills, a great place, and the bonus, it was all about sports. Bob, an inveterate sports maniac, has also loved being able to go to 4 Super Bowls, 2 World Series, 2 NCAA championships, to do television and get paid to watch sports. How cool is that? Now, Bob has a serious side. He has actually thought about his legacy, although I do think you're really still too young to do that just yet, but just ask me. But it's something that has been guiding him as he moves toward being really old. Bob prides himself on being one of the most honest people his clients say they have ever worked with. Oops, flies. Uh-oh. That means I could be making this up and it stinks. Just kidding, Bob. This is He strives to be fair to the people who work for him and who he works for. That's a good start to a career that, for both these guys, has many more years to go. Welcome to the Silver Circle, Bob.
Television news, and it's all local television. There's a lot of us in the industry. Fred, who's here, knows that we're out there and we're working every day. And sometimes we're not even working for people that are here. We're working for clients in Boston. We're working for clients all over the place. So I appreciate the honor of being honored for being here. God, I'm losing it. And as a small company that's been able to make it for 28 years. I guess really the one way I can think of it that's difficult for us If you're at a station and you want a new camera, you put in a request. We write a check, and that really is very difficult when you have to do it all yourself. I just want to thank a bunch of people here, and then I'll get on my way. First to Kathy for, said she left, so for doing this. I worked with Kathy, was one of my first reporters when I was, and she wasn't lying, I was a terrible assignment editor. And I have to tell you, I salute assignment editors all over the place, because I think that is the absolute crappiest job in the newsroom. So, also thanks, in no special order, another Sue Strom comment, because I know that no matter where I mention Sue, if it's first, last, or in the middle, she'll wonder why I mentioned her there. So, and of course, my partner Marty, who for 28 years we got to do some incredible things, as Kathy mentioned. We've had some great times, and as I've said to people, there's not a day goes by that I don't look forward to going to work, and I just think that's not very many people out there that are like that. Marty and I we actually use a line from the movie Rocky, which is when Rocky talks about having gaps. I don't know if you remember that. And he says, he has gaps, I have gaps, together we fill gaps. And that's Marty and I. We have things that we both do well, and that's worked for 28 years for us. I'd like to thank all the freelancers that have worked for us all the year, because they're really the people that have made our success. There's only 4 of us full time, but we probably support another 12 to 15 people on a freelance basis. So thanks to all those people. All my clients, some of whom are here, Tom Carlo, Brad Cleban. I thank all of you for everything you've done for us for the last 28 years. And then my friend, Sue Strom, who really did get me my first job, and who nominated me for this, I believe. And she's just really been a great influence in my life, and I appreciate everything she's done for me. And last but not least, my beautiful wife, Jackie, who I actually met because we were on a trip, a business trip, who has been the love of my life, and who I really wouldn't be here without. Thank you much.